Hey folks, Relossy with Jarmitlin. I'm Jarmitlin, and this is another WrestleMania-based show. I did a 14-part WrestleMania history series, cheap plug, check that out. Put a lot of good effort into it. And I really enjoyed it. It was nice to revisit some memories from plenty of the good Manias and some of the bad ones, and it made for some fun rants and fun praise. So check that out if you'd like. It's on the playlist, or I can send it to you on Twitter. My Twitter handle will, of course, be in the description. This, however, is not about matches. It's not about entrances. Well, you know, wrestler entrances. This is going to be about particular theme songs. And this is going to be me talking about the 10 best WrestleMania theme songs, where after the first three Manias, they didn't really have many themes besides like the classic guitar riff one that began, where Vince was like, oh, it's time for WrestleMania. You know, I can't do a Vince voice. Or the WrestleMania rap that they had for a bit. It wasn't until about WrestleMania 16 they picked that back up, and then from 17 on, they've had big name bands. Yes, back in 2001, Limp Bizkit counted as a big name band. WWE's had that because they've grown their brand, and especially with WrestleMania, the huge crowds and all that, they've been able to attract some big name and big money performers to lend their music to the WrestleMania brand to fit the particular theme of that pay-per-view. So again, it's me talking about my 10 favorite ones, and I want to make it clear I'm not going to include audio clips here. Because with YouTube's guidelines and stuff like that, I just don't want to risk it. I mean, I suppose I could play just a few seconds of it, but if I say the name, you could just YouTube it. And I could put them in the description, but I'm just going to say them, and I'll see what you guys think. So I'm just going to briefly go over them, why I like them, and then move on from that, so it probably won't be a long show. Long description, so let's get on with that. Number 10, the WrestleMania rap that was in 1993, and the Mania Classic theme. I'm putting them both together, so yeah, it's almost like a top 11, but it's nostalgia for me. And the WrestleMania rap thing is like cheesy as hell, and it's funny with some of the guys that were in there, like that were featured in there, like wrestlers in particular that we're talking. Mean Gene Okerlund, Big Boss Man, Hacksaw Jim Duggan, the Nasty Boys. And I'm sure there were a couple others. Those are the ones that stick out in my mind. Four of those five, because Nasty Boys count as two people, talentless hacks, but as two people, they were all gone. Like Nasty Boys were in WCW and later in 93. Boss Man was in WCW and later in 93. Mean Gene Okerlund was. Hacksaw left for WCW sometime in 94. That was a great idea. It's flat out embarrassing watching him in WCW. But I enjoyed the WrestleMania rap because it was cheesy. I mean, it's not great, but it's cheesy, and it's nostalgia for me. And same with the Mania Classic theme. And you could get the whole thing with Vince. It's like, it's time for Mania, it's time for I'm not going to do a Vince voice, but it's time for WrestleMania. You know, the whole cheesy thing, and it fits. So that's why both of them are there at number 10. Number 9, I gotta admit, I had to look on Wiki and, look on other websites to, see what all the theme songs were, especially for some of the earlier ones. Because from 17 to 30, I even included one from 33, but that's on our list, the worst list, spoiler. There were a lot where I was like, okay, this is going to be a little harder than I thought, because I'm coming up with the top 10 for each one, best and worst. And crap, how do I come up with this? Because, some of the songs were great, some of them fit pretty well, some of them were good songs and didn't fit the theme. This one I'm not so sure if it's going to fit the theme, but Easy Lover by Phil Collins, and I forget who the other guy was. I believe he was from Earth, Wind, and Fire. I'm sorry, I forgot the guy's name. But Easy Lover, it's a fun song. I mean, most of Phil Collins' music was, at least back in the 80s. And for WrestleMania 1, it sort of fit. It sort of fit the theme of, bringing together celebrities and wrestling. So it was fun. And so we go to number 8, which is My Way by Limp Bizkit from WrestleMania 17. It really fit, especially for that Steve Austin, The Rock video package. That was tremendous. Absolutely tremendous. Wonderful. Fit great. It fit for other stuff too. I mean, don't get me wrong, but that was the particular video package in the feud where it really fit. And it was when Limp Bizkit was still... cool would be the wrong word, but when they were still more relevant. I actually remember... an old best friend of mine, a guy I still keep in contact with, but I haven't seen him for years. Him and I seem to enjoy Limp Bizkit back when we were in high school. We both graduated the same year. And I worked with him at the movie theater later, and I said to him at one point when we were ushering, I said, man, what the hell? It's like I brought up all that, and he's like, oh yeah, so what the hell were we thinking dancing around to that music? I mean, two white guys they can't dance, dancing around to Limp Bizkit, where you had Fred Durst trying to act like he was, tough when he was barely 5'5". It was ridiculous. Anyway, but My Way was a fun song and really did fit with the WrestleMania 17 theme. And then from WrestleMania 31, Rise, Skylar Grey, and David Guetta. There are a few particular people I remember actually when WrestleMania 31 was coming up, and a lot of people did not like the song. It grew on me, probably particularly because I think Skylar Grey's attractive, or at least I thought she was at WrestleMania 31. But it's just, something's catchy about it. It's not a great song, I admit that. But something about it fit the Mania 31 theme, and I enjoyed it. I mean, it's not a great song by any stretch of the imagination. It's not a deep song, but I found it fun. So that's why it's here at number 7. Number 6, from WrestleMania 18, Superstar by Saliva. I really enjoyed that one. I liked a lot of Saliva's music from, in that little early period of the 2000s. And in fact, another song they did later, that they put for a pay-per-view later in 2002, Always, for Survivor Series. That Survivor Series was really, really fun. I enjoyed that. But I like Superstar. I thought it fit pretty well for some of the bigger matches. And they put together some good video packages for that. Still, I think they should have used Canadian bands since they were in Toronto. They should have used Canadian bands to perform live, because the vast majority of people did not seem to really care for Saliva or Drowning Pool, which is sad because both were pretty good bands back then. But yeah, that's why Superstar is here at number 6. Number 5, I Dare You by Shinedown from WrestleMania 22. I enjoyed it. I think Shinedown's a pretty underrated band. Good song. Fit with the some grow, one of the lines, some stay young, some grow old, because they talk about, the past superstars, current superstars. Do the memories of them stick with you? I enjoyed I Dare You. I just thought that I enjoyed it more than Big Time, because I like Peter Gabriel, but to me, I Dare You fit the theme of Mania 22 more. And really went well with the video packages and stuff that they put in for the particular matches. So that's why it's here at number 5. Number 4, Step Up by Drowning Pool. Loved it. Great song. Loved it. Great song. Especially, and I love how they timed the song with the opening pyro when they were in Madison Square Garden. Like, they had the video package, the graphic package, and everything. And you'll go back and watch this. It's absolutely great. But it's like the whole thing where it's like, they do the crescendo and they go with the pyro just sends on these strings, right to above the ring, explodes, gets on the stage, and, blows up and everything. It's just great, and it's great timing. And the song in particular is very catchy, very fun, and I really like it. I mean, it's one of the good later Drowning Pool songs after the lead singer sadly passed away. But yeah. That's why it's there at number 3. I just really think it fit for the Mania 20 theme. And it was just because WWE did step it up. Now, they had some matches that weren't all that great, and I talked about that on my Mania History series. Again, cheap plug. But I just liked it. I thought it was really good. And number 23, Ladies and Gentlemen by Saliva. Saliva, once again, making the list here. Mania 23 was an odd show, had some moments, had some pretty good matches, though. So it was better than some Manias, don't get me wrong. Not great, but better than some Manias. This fit for, almost every video package that they had, or, the graphics that they had for the big matches. And it was a damn catchy song. Really, really good. I enjoyed it. Number 2, I Made It by Kevin Rudolph from Mania 26. Not a lot of... Not a lot of rap here on this, as you guys can tell. Not a lot of rap at all. I'm not the biggest fan of rap, admittedly. You will find that out on my top 10 worst list, by the way. Again, spoiler alert. And that's my thing, and I'm sticking to it. At least in current rap. I don't mind older rap. I think a lot of the older hip-hop's actually pretty good. But I Made It. Not the best song, admittedly, but it did fit well with Mania 26. It did. It's like it was, it fit the theme, you know, especially for like, you know, a lot of people that it was their first Mania or one of their first Manias. And it worked pretty damn well. Worked pretty damn well for some of the matches. So I enjoyed it, and it's kind of catchy. And number 1, Leave the Memories Alone by Fuel from Mania 24. In particular because it fit with the Ric Flair video package. God, I wish Ric Flair would have stayed retired. At least from the ring. I mean, I wish that WWE would have found a better use for him and paid him well to be like an ambassador and be part of the company and not have him wrestle, because the man had such a great retirement. Leave the Memories Alone was great for him, and I'm not going to try to cry about his retirement and how great it was. It was great emotional piece and everything, and I really thought it was great that they went all out with Ric Flair and stuff like that. That was great. Leave the Memories Alone, though, is a great song, and it really fit for him, and it did fit for that Mania, because there were some where it's like that's the main theme it was for Ric Flair's retirement. But the thing was, is like, you know, leave the memories alone. Don't try to change them. That's just really what it is. So that's where I'm going to leave that list off, because that's it. That was number 1. Yeah, maybe a sentimental favorite. I thought of putting Ladies and Gentlemen number 1, but Leave the Memories Alone gets there, particularly because it fit Ric Flair's, at the end of Ric Flair's in-ring career in WWE so well. So, do you agree? Do you disagree? Like, share, comment, subscribe. My Twitter link, of course, is in the description. It's been Real Honesty with John Ritlin. I am John Ritlin, and I will see you soon.